I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. Let's talk about that. What's up guys, Dr. Coaster here on behalf of the Georgia Coaster Connection, and welcome back to another ArieForce One Construction Update. Before we get started, I just want everyone to know that all photos and footage included in these construction updates are free to use with credit. I'd also like to thank my Georgia Coaster Connection partner Christopher as we gathered this content together. I'll link his pages down below. We'll start with the good news. I made my way back out to Fun Spot Atlanta on Saturday, April 2nd, and once again found that RMC and Fun Spot are moving very quickly. And there's a lot to update you on, even since my last update just 4 days ago. Like always, I started by walking back to the area behind the parking lot first, that has served as a staging area for RMC as new shipments arrived to the park. While I didn't notice any new shipments, it's of note that the large supports I mentioned in my last in-park update are no longer there, as well as some other key pieces that I'll mention later. This means that those last remaining large supports must have belonged to either the top of the lift hill and first drop, or the 0G stall. If you missed my last update, ArieForce One was officially topped off towards the middle of last week, but I wasn't able to make it to the park as it happened outside of park hours. This is the biggest development to date on the ride, and a sign that the park and RMC are progressing well toward their targeted summer opening date. To change things up a bit from my typical day at the park, I headed to the back of the park instead of the front first, to see if there were any new developments behind the arcade. Not surprisingly, with how busy RMC has been at the front of the park, I didn't see anything new here, so I headed to the Ferris wheel. Unfortunately, the Ferris wheel was closed when I got there, so I improvised. After admiring the front car some more, I noticed a couple exciting developments that we have been anticipating. Those familiar with the construction know that the park recently expanded the hard hat zone, and as of this week, they've officially begun preparing the land for the station, Outer Banked Airtime Hill, and Brake Run. This section of the ride will send ArieForce One towards the arcade and conclude the ride. The foundations for what used to be the old miniature golf course are torn up, and only the Georgia clay remains. What is particularly exciting about this is that the support structure for the middle section of the ride is extremely simple compared with what has already been completed. So once it starts to go vertical, it will happen very quickly. The next exciting piece of news is that I was able to spot the first pieces of track that have arrived onto the construction site. All of these pieces are perfectly straight, so there's no doubt in my mind that we'll soon be seeing the red and blue track added to the lift hill. And this will give us an awesome glimpse at what the rest of the ride is going to look like firsthand. While this is happening, expect the Raven truss die to be installed as well. Now I mentioned at the top of the video that I also had some bad news. This may or may not affect you as a visitor to the park. It really depends on your preference. In their last newsletter to park guests and season pass holders, Fun Spot Atlanta stated, quote, "Special notice. Our mini golf courses will all be closing soon due to space requirements for the new ArieForce One roller coaster. Come and play before it's too late." Now, there's a possibility that this could be temporary, as they might need the area for construction purposes, but I think the park would have specified if that was the case. I'm hoping for more concrete details and a closing date soon, and I'll be sure to share that once it's announced. I knew we were going to sacrifice one of the mini golf courses for ArieForce One and likely have to move the entrance, but I didn't realize it would be all of them. These mini golf courses are both absolutely beautiful, complete with a waterfall, river, and cave, and it's really going to hurt to see them gone. If by some chance Fun Spot is listening to this, please, at least save their waterfall and rock work, and somehow incorporate a sidewalk or a midway into it. It's such a unique spot in the park, and is a really impressive feature for a park this size. It elevates the atmosphere of this park above other parks like it, and it is just so peaceful. As an Atlanta native that enjoys the amusement industry, this definitely stings if it's permanent, since there's not many mini golf courses around. But if it allows this park to continue to flourish, I totally understand. The Arie family has my complete trust. Thank you all for watching. That was the 5th of many ArieForce One construction updates to come. Hopefully this video wasn't too negative. There's still a lot of exciting things happening. I mean, we're about to see the Raven truss dive installed and see track put on the ride for the first time. It doesn't get much better than that. If you don't want to miss out on more construction updates like this, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, as many more of these will be coming leading up to the opening of the ride. If you haven't already, then also be sure to follow Georgia Coaster Connection over on Instagram, your home for all things ArieForce One. If you're feeling inclined, then you can follow me as well at Dr_Coaster. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.